Apple store like a sage from Kansas, cornbread crazy, pursuing milk. How can I help you today, she asks from inside a little black dress that shuts down all my vectors. Where do I begin? I sigh like my old man retelling the time that Claire told him to go jump rope, and he did. He was Pawtucket's champ after all. He jumped through the hoops without frown and foul word, gliding through the house a man without secret, juggling the burdens we all find grave with an ease that came from above. Sorry to mislead you, I affirm, but all the balm I need is in my own reverie, above the binary where the mind holds sway over the machine, and not vice versa, as it happens to be. I'm going to read a few new ones and then try and give you the sales pitch for the book and blah, 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 blah. This is called Dead Star Paradigm. The worst book I ever read was written by me a long time ago when I thought I knew. Now I know and scribe from that, freed from the strangleholds and flooded plain, freed from perceived isonomy, knowing the horse has left the barn and I'm riding roughshod, bareback, an aged horse watching the fillies. The worst book I ever read took me years to plagiarize. So blame yourselves that it didn't sell well. I tried to add an action scene, but you stayed hesitant, unsure, as if the plans you made were really meant to buoy you forward, as if the sad song of trains was your only hit, as if Colossus barred the door. That's right. The worst book I ever read wasn't a book at all, but a confession. A lengthy screed you told me in the dark. A meek animal adventure with commercials about inventing things and how to double your order if you order now. Free shipping without delay. The worst book I ever read was written before I practiced this bogus moral code. When I still hearkened back to old TV for the password, when I could still discern hunger from envy, good from evil, love from lust. In the worst book I ever read, everyone at Tract 187 had a part. You sort a leaner scenery. You midwife twins from poisoned mothers. You hoarded horsepower and coin. Watched the choppers as they darked the sky.
Very good.
How about a little sing-along? When I get to the Play Ye Wild Angels part, you just repeat it, and if we get into a really nice, comfortable riff, maybe that'll be my whole act. We'll just keep going out. 1906, on Telegraph Hill, where we lifted the sheets to ID our kin. The sky was hot with fire, thick with smoke, thick and dusty. The hotel from Valencia Street rested on her side. And Market Street, where Mary and I first tasted cotton candy, was gone. Twisted brick and family equal in the room. Play ye wild angels. Play ye wild angels. Play ye wild angels. Like lightning across the sky. I cut it too short. Here's a song about New York, and it's called Still Life with Mandolin. In this city of tall women intent on getting somewhere, the bedlam is built in. The chaos concurrent with everyday life. A swirl in clouds of estrogen. I pilot my way without getting hurt. Murder and mayhem engage my eye. Sales girls look at me like I have 6 heads, which I do, by the way, because I'm really stoned at the moment. And I'm trying to purchase a book about flogging with a credit card long since expired. And a smile discolored from years of red wine. A tall order of diplomacy is needed, so I borrow a 50 from a chanteuse who only knows 2 songs and sings them over and over and over and over and over and over. every time it is that I'm trying to read.
Excellent.
I know some of us here have some merch and to sell and stuff to that nature, and so do I, so there's no sense in disappointing you that I don't. So this is called amphigory, and amphigory is basically your canon of work, and this is called amphigory. I was buffing urns when the hoopla started, pursuing despair at minimum wage, when the rabid extent of my readership rose to the fore. It had been a long time coming, sir. I'd been grinding out satire, pocket pool peace, hash pipe church, clever without corpus, published under shyster imprints, the blonde with blue shoes. Imagine that. Cops, cleavage, in a dirty old town that I used to manage, a dirty old town where I took every bribe and sold every Bible. This was America after all, and I had a lot of catching up to do. Better writers abound, but the majority are morose or on par. So take your pick. Your dissent is a minor voice. Just buy the goddamn thing and pay the shipping to realms I cannot phonate. It's safer that way and easier to lose in the mail, making it necessary for you to buy another copy or two, one for your aunt who can't read in her room or her diaper's sour. The Charlatan's Ruse is newly revised and due just in time for Christmas. Like it always is, or isn't. This is America, after all. Back in the 70s, I've spent a lot of time on Jane Street, and we were refurbishing an apartment that we had absolutely no idea why we were refurbishing it. The guy just kept paying us and paying us and paying us, and we kept refurbishing and refurbishing and refurbishing. And this is called Jane Street. They all wanted to fuck me on Jane Street, but didn't. Such was the luck of the brotherly type, a witness to women learning to walk along the Rockaway sands, playing them Dusty and Joni and Laura, our voices rising to the sky black with worry, intrigue, late periods and trouble at home, Manhattan dying, the Bronx afire, the autumns in Washington Square. We talked to the city, and that city talked back, whispered us secrets and lies, and truths that later proved true. They all wanted to fuck me on Jane Street, but didn't. Such was the luck of the brotherly type, and some pangs still play in our tellings today. Certainly sickness, certainly death, and who did who on Jane Street. Woo-hoo. All right, we get to have some fun now. This is one I've been doing a lot lately. This is from the book, I guess. I have to say that. This is from Smitten by Harpies. If you look at it and you say smitten by herpes, don't feel bad. A lot of people do. And this is called, there was a time when, I think it was about 10 or 15 years ago, you can actually go up on a website because Screamin' Jay Hawkins, the old rock and roller, he is reported to have had 86, if not more kids, from God knows how many different women.
Put a spell on you.
Okay, yeah, he did. And the beautiful part about it was that at this website, and I really don't know if it's still around these days, you were able to send your DNA in and find out if you were actually one of his progeny. Okay. So back then, I wrote this poem, and it's called Screamin' Jay Hawkins and Me in Our Prime. I'm lost in a parking lot on the left coast when an Afghan Kush and Grey Goose buzz when Screamin' Jay Hawkins jumps the Sierra screaming, "What can I do with 86 kids and each mama want my jam?" Jump in, motherfucker, I salvo, kicking the gas like a mule bucks gravity. Hurtling down Coastal Route 1 with an off-subpoenaed rock and roll legend in my car does not faze me. Hell no. I expect these things from time to time. The brain unhinged, the whole world going batshit. Screamin' Jay riffing in the passenger seat is no more nuts to me than dumping poisons in the ocean to my left. Its vast sky full with the moans of our daughter's womb engines, pumping out pilots and privates and warlords that no one believes can win anymore. Thank you. Hey. That's the first time anyone's ever said that to me. What am I doing next? I'm not doing that. All right, we're going to do this one. Where is it? This is a short one. It's called Loodle. We've progressed to the point of extinction. So per her suggestion, I fuck myself and grab an espresso. Children of the pestilence say the darndest things. Thank you. This is from the chapbook Eve's Venom, and it's called Word Balloons. Grooming my feathers, tanning my wounds, setting free all my word balloons, the content of news, the vaudeville of Pharaoh, dynamite fishing makes great family fun, not playing piano like Chico Marx is the bane of my existence, coercive theocracy, drank it for war, why do we pledge allegiance to fossil fuel blowout and nuclear hail, the dead air of progress powers my sails, grooming my feathers, tanning my wounds, setting free all my word balloons. Oh man, I gotta do that band. Okay, I'll do that band. This is called Gravity Gets Us All. Turning back the mileage is no easy task. Once the lines and crow's feet impede upon the mass, the doctors cut, the doctors stitch. They make museum pieces. No matter how much you iron, babe, they're bound to see the creases. Gravity gets us all, baby. Gravity gets us all. Tummy in, shoulders back, baggy shirts to hide the slack, couch zucchini garden moans, a tad of rheumatism in my bones, face lifts and breast transplants, all to help a bad romance, bags of sagging cellulite, skin now hangs that once was tight. Gravity gets us all, baby. Gravity gets us all, so we pay for Botox days and 2 shots of minoxidil. Yes, we must live on and on, just let that clock stand still as the doctors cut and the doctors stitch and make museum pieces. No matter how much you iron, babe, you're bound to see the creases. Gravity gets us all, baby. Gravity gets us all. Thank you. Okay, let's do this one. This is based on a true story, as most of the poems in this thing is. So it actually is a memoir. So you're getting 2 books in one. It's a memoir and a book of poetry. And this is called Yearbook. This is called Yearbook. If I can spit it out, it's called Yearbook. And this is called Yearbook. Frost's granddaughter convinced me of my brilliance as she held me between her legs like I was the last poet on 107th Street. We were young, so sex closed the deal. Rock that girl and you were the next big thing in the land of American letters. Bite her neck and she read your words with worship. Fuck, I could do that. It was sophomore year after all, and I had plenty of testosterone. Discovering tongue along cleavage, lips upon belly, tracing the sweat down her spine. I had a way with alliteration that was wholly American, she said. My hands on her feverish ass as I foraged toward her fulcrum, breathing warm along her panty line, their color that of open sky. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Man, I screwed this all up.
Hey, Mikey, I liked it.
All right. Let's see if I can get this right here. Where the fuck is it? Man, you know, I planned this out and I told... Here it is. This is called Half Shitty Days. So you see there are good days and you've got bad days, and then you have your half shitty ones, which I believe most of us will testify to having more often than not. Half shitty days really have no point of start or departure. Maybe you wake up feeling grand but soon burn the toast or step in cat pee. Maybe a car hits a skunk just in front of your house. Perhaps you drop the soap in the shower and whack your head on the towel bar. Maybe the ride to work smooths things out, but the job sucks. Then what? 8 hours of suck? Sounds like a really good porno, but really, who the fuck's gonna last that long? Okay, all right, I understand. So lunch breaks the monotony and the jazz blows blue on NPR, but soon you drop a hammer on your foot or a fly in the ointment drowns in your coffee, and it's a shitty day again. And just like that, you're caught in the traffic home. No one uses their signals, so you almost rear-end the guy in front of you. That anxiety wears off when, from out of nowhere, comes a kid in his daddy's Acura cutting you off, flipping the finger as he heads off to produce another illegitimate that you know will someday pick your pocket somewhere down the line. But up ahead, all is well. Up ahead is home, and all is well. You hope. Who knows? Maybe your better half's had a whole bad day, and when compared to your half shitty one, well, who knows? Maybe they've had a good day, and that sunshine will make your half shitty day really a quarter of a shitty day. Who knows? Who knows when half shitty days become one or the other, good or bad? Who knows? Maybe that's the chore of being. Thank you. I got time for a couple more?
Yeah.
Cool.
One or two, yeah. Perfect.
One or two? Okay, all right. We'll make it work. The roofer red knots, North America's most common subspecies, flies the equivalent of the moon and back in her lifetime. Now it faces extinction as we overharvest horseshoe crabs for the terminally corpulent. Tell me again how we are not to blame for everything dying on this planet. Please, tell me again. It wasn't clear the first time. All right, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do two more and then get out of here. Yeah, this is called The Halos in Her Glasses. Trish MacGyver had a sinister tick, a lithium logic that begged dedication. Her mercy flew in fragments, and she made a darker jazz with a set degree of fixture and nose-sliding scale that dates back to 7th grade when I stole my first kiss. The sun was bright that day, the air unseasonably clean. The Christmas lights haloed in her glasses. I couldn't resist. I took her right there, mouth to mouth. Miss Norton flustered. We were two of a kind, our desire and untempered skill. Prone to the mad calls of profit, our hearts locked perfectly. And all through college we plotted our motives, sold pot to raise funds, took our first shipment of Armalite Colts and a box of Berettas. Then we read in the Armed Tribune about a new arms maker, Glock. It was 63. The Beatles on the BBC. I saw her standing there with halos in her glasses and proposed. We invested heavy, under the table, across the boards, across the Doc Krong River with freedom in the hull. Then she miscarried and we took a break. Sailed Greece. Made connections. Made some calls and flew to Taiwan, Nairobi. We never talked of children again. We went low profile in the 80s, but it didn't last long. We were one of a kind, so we went to Detroit and Camden and West End Avenue and Memphis and Newburgh, selling cheap and plentiful to both sides. Cops, robbers, it makes no difference. Everyone's gearing up for survival. War unabated, abroad, at home. To avoid bloodshed, we vacationed on private islands. Even after retiring, we got involved deep with the Middle East, fattening their kings and slaughtering their houses. That income set us up for this, our friends and family all in one room, bearing a torch to her grave. And I'm going to do one more and get out of here. I trust we all know what the bardo is in Buddhist religion and Buddhist theology. It's where you go for 49 days before they figure out what you're going to be when you come back. And this is called rude impact. You fall from the bardo into this shakedown, this realm of fraud and spite, where the North looks like the South with brown skins picking the white skin salad. You fall from the bardo into this unmannered situation, this crude hive of monsters on the morning commute. You fall from the bardo hoping to retain or relearn some form of grace and charity, but it's futile. All you can hope for is to become immune to it, immured from it, feign ignorance like all the rest, which makes you as culpable as the next guy. You fall from the bardo hoping to remain intact. Good luck. Thank you, Tract 187. Thank you, Ronnie. Thanks.
Mike Jerkovich. Woo!
Yes. Thank you for your incredible words and the sense of Constitution.